Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. We are back again today, and today we're specifically talking about Missouri. We have a lot of close ballot measures, decisive ballot measures to talk about, from sports, abortion, and along with casinos, in other words, looking down along with, of course, police funding, and some surprising results. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with Missouri Amendment 2. We are specifically talking about permits and license for sports wagering. Okay, so legalize sports betting. Apparently, if the amendment passes, this amendment would permit licensed sports wagering, including online betting for individuals age 21 and over. So I'm kind of buffering out because you gotta know the definition of permit in this case. Because I'm guessing there's more than just one way of permit. Let's go ahead. Permit definition. Give authorization or consent to do something, okay? So obviously, we're giving you permission to, of course, permit licensed sports. So you'll have to do licensed sports, including online betting for individuals aged 21 and over. So license, I would take you would have had a license for this. This measure barely passed with just barely, like 0.10% of the margin. You'll see. Looking at the map, you'll see it's a pattern. You'll see more red counties are in against this ballot measure, while more blue counties are in support of this ballot measure. Is it a trend? I don't know. But taking a look at, you'll see like Pemiscot County, which voted for, this is Josh Hawley, but still, 70% for Josh Hawley, 70% for Donald Trump. This county voted in favor of this ballot measure. You'll even see St. Louis County's not even in big support of this said county. I'm in support of this ballot measure. 54% even approve of this ballot measure. While you got Plate County, a county that Josh Hawley lost in his re-election bid, this county went in 60% in favor for it. It could be because of low turnout or low participation rate. But honestly, obviously, because of this, I'll say 2.9 million votes have been reported, meaning 2.9 million people have participated in this election. You'll see red counties in the 70% range, 80% range. They're more in favor of saying no. And while you have Jackson County saying yes, and I want to believe it's actually Jackson County that's the most supportive of this ballot measure. That, of course, that county has Kansas City, if we are unaware there. We can remember that. The county that said no to this was Shannon County, and that Shannon County is, right here, right in the middle, 69% in the no column. Shannon County fueling the no opposition, and of course the no did have some momentum and favors. Usually with maps like this, it pretty much looks like it's going to be a L. But since St. Louis, even right here, St. Louis City, St. Louis County, 54%. St. Louis City is only at 54% in favor of this ballot measure. This resulted to, of course, the map and the race being very compatible, in other words. But yes, this is barely passed for Amendment 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at Amendment 3, which is probably the highlight of this video. Abortion. All right, right to legalization, the right to abortion. I'm not surprised. Missouri, which had previously banned abortion before, has now brought it back. It's sad and an unfortunate reality. It says here, this amendment would establish a constitutional right to reproductive rights and would remove Missouri's ban on abortion. 51.6% said yes. 48.4% says no. So basically, now unfortunately, a meaning that Missouri, of course, this is the highlight for them in 2024. They retook a abortion state, an anti-abortion state. They actually put this in the Constitution, the right to reproductive rights in the Missouri Constitution. This measure passed, unfortunately. You'll see the county that supported it the most was St. Louis City. St. Louis obviously was in most support of the ballot measure at hand, while the county that mainly was against it, that was a Wright County at 80%. Now, here's the reality. You cannot really take a look at the map of abortion and say it's going to be like that. It can obviously have a reverse effect. So here is the current state of abortion in the United States. If you take a look here, you'll see Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, South Dakota, and Idaho. They are the states that banned abortion. And Missouri used to be a part of that cluster until it went back to the legal before 24th week, or 5.5 months, is the exception where you can have an abortion in of course, Missouri. So Planned Parenthood should be happy. They get their offices back in Missouri. They get to move back into Kansas City and St. Louis City. They should be joyful, but do you think they're happy? No, because the Orange Man is back. So here's the deal. They don't really care about abortion. I'm telling you. This is just a psyop. This is just, of course, a way to get women and feminist and woke voters mobilized to vote for the Democrat Party. They care less about abortion and the issue. They don't care if you have an abortion or not. They don't care if some sort of injustice, like someone forbidden you to get an abortion. They'll use that as a rallying cry to get more votes. This is the deal. If they really cared, they would be celebrating Missouri's Amendment 3. They would say, hooray! They reversed the effect of Missouri, but they're not so happy about it. I'll tell you why they're not happy about Missouri Amendment 3. You want to know why? Why? Because it's now establishing the precedent that, you know what, Kentucky can be reversed. Indiana can be reversed by ballot measure. You don't need to elect Democrats up and down ballot in order to reverse it. No. And ideally, if Texas had a ballot measure, people of Texas would likely approve the abortion ballot measure. Oklahoma, it's a religious state, but it's said to be a pretty libertarian state. And I would have reason to believe that abortion would win there, unfortunately. Arkansas, the last abortion ballot measure there seemed to be close. Mississippi denied, of course, the definition of a human being when it comes to abortion by 60%. Now, I have reason to believe that if you throw the abortion amendment, they would approve it. They would not approve it, actually. They would say no. It does depend on wording when it comes to them. West Virginia, 2018, proved to be very close. West Virginia voted to be more restrictive on abortion. South Dakota, you get what I'm saying. But they boo-hoo out and cry when a state bans abortion. Do we boo-hoo out and cry when a state brings back abortion like Missouri? No. This proves how ignorant the liberals are. They absolutely are. So looking at this map, no doubt about it, it's an unfortunate reality that we lost a pro-life state to abortion. you'll see the counties that made this happen were credited to Buchanan, Plate, Clay, Jackson, of course, Boone. We got St. Charles County, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City. So those are the said counties that brought back Missouri's abortion measure. A victory for, I would say this would be the biggest victory for Democrats, in my opinion. You could say that in the North Carolina blue wave. It's a mix of this, but we know how much the Democrats have been pandering to abortion. The Democratic Party is basically a pro-abortion party, and the fact that they flipped the state, they instead of playing defense, because believe it or not, the pro-choice mob has been playing defense when it comes to this abortion thing. And for the first time, they went on the offensive and flipped a pro-life state. So, interestingly enough, and unfortunate that had to happen, but I kind of knew. When you had St. Louis, when you had Jackson County, you had the counties in a part of that Jackson County area that were traditionally Democrat, I would believe that Missouri would probably bring back abortion. So that's my view there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Amendment 5, of course. Amendment 5, kind of interesting. It's a split of results. You'll see St. Louis County voted no. Jackson County voted yes. St. Louis City voted yes. Interesting results. So let's go ahead and look here. This amendment would authorize the Missouri Gaming Commission to grant an additional gambling boat license for a boat on the Osage River. I'm not really a big fan with the gambling, so I would probably, I don't know. I'd say no, in my opinion, but don't get mad if you guys are support yes in Missouri's ballot measure amendment 5. I honestly don't care which way it goes. But Missourians came out and they said no. 52.5%. You'll see most of the Missouri countryside, the red areas, except Pemscott, traditionally Democrat county, by the way, Democrat stronghold, but now it's Republican stronghold. It's like 75% Republican. But you can clearly see that there are some split of results here. St. Louis County, close result there, but they voted against. While the city of St. Louis, close result, but they supported this gambling Osage River Casino. But yes, you'll see ballot measure, no. Wright County leads the way. Wherever Wright County is, it's part of that orange cluster of dark orange. Yes, it's leading the no, of course, in this ballot measure demand. Now, yes, gets the support of Jackson County. Jackson County, 55% in support. But yes, interesting results there. Plate. But yeah, as you even see, Clay County is the second in command. But yeah, go down to Amendment 6. Okay, this one is frustrating. Increase police funding, and it does not have a map for us. Frustrating. All right, but I can tell you this. 61 says no. So this amendment would allow Corsa to charge fees that would fund the salaries of law enforcement personnel. And I do not necessarily know the complete details on Missouri. Okay, it doesn't look like they have a page for Amendment 6. We can go ahead and look at Wiki Commons and see if they have a page. Otherwise, we can image what the map kind of looks like right now in our own heads and use our imagination, and kind of guess. But I would imagine that map would come out. Is it Amendment 6? Missouri Amendment 6, yes. Yes, interesting result. Nope. No results there, but I'll tell you, this amendment would allow courts to charge fees that would fund the salaries of law enforcement personnel. 61% said no. Why am I thinking that? Well, why is this the case? You might probably think. Uh, well, I think it's probably because of the tax issue. Obviously, half of it is the BLM, half of it is Antifa. I don't think Antifa is mainly. I think Antifa is mostly in Washington D.C. and Oregon and Washington State. And they can be anywhere else, but I think they're funded mainly over there. But BLM for sure. You can only imagine this measure getting the support of the likes of Cori Bush and the radical left in St. Louis County, in St. Louis, and maybe Jackson County, maybe some red counties also because of the tax issue. You realize police funding involves raising the taxes, it's funding, okay? Even though you're funding for something that is, honestly, we are in desperate need of. Like, I think St. Louis has a big a crime problem, if you guys do not know. They go, oh, the murder rate's so high in Missouri. Yeah, it's because of St. Louis, the Democrat-run city of St. Louis, and also Kansas City. So stop pretending that it's a red county issue. You don't go, I live in the country. You don't see homicidal maniacs from Minneapolis run around the countryside in Carver County. You don't see that. We can give Tim Walz credit for that. I don't think Tim Walz cares, honestly, of not letting these criminals. He's not even doing anything about it. These criminals have no interest in the countryside, period. No criminals have interests in the countryside because there's no people there. There's nothing there. So what? There's nothing to destroy. There's nothing to wreck. There is nothing to cause chaos and destruction. There is nothing entertaining, in other words, there. So 61% saying no to ballot measure Amendment 6, which of course would allow courts to charge fees that would fund the salaries of law enforcement. Well, okay. Yep, that would salaries of law enforcement personnel. So Amendment 7 requires citizenship to vote and prohibit ranked choice voting, a base ballot measure that almost went to 70%. Yes, wins with just St. Louis City. St. Louis just really struggling there. It's 56% in the no column. But ultimately, this ballot measure passed. You'll see even Boone County was having a hard time there. Of course, Columbia, I believe that's a university there. Excuse me. But yes, you even see 64% in Jackson County. So yes, this amendment would change the state constitution that only U.S. citizens can vote. It would also prohibit the ranking of candidates by voters. And 68%, despite the loonies in Jackson and St. Louis counties, in those very suburban liberal areas, they came out and supported this ballot measure. Jackson County, Kansas City, it's always been one of the most liberalist cities. They came out and supported this ballot measure. Give credit to them when it comes to that. St. Louis, of course, we're like, we're not so sure about that. So no surprise. I was surprised that, like, Jackson, Boone, and maybe St. Louis County didn't join in the mix, but it is what it is. I think it's better that way. McDonald County is the county that mobilized the most for this ballot measure, 81%. Of course, that is in contrast, in stark competition with the following counties: Barton, Atchison, Holt, and Holt counties. Those four actually, are the counties that, of course, shared 81% of the popular vote in support of ballot measure. Now, obviously, there's no need to point it out, but St. Louis is the only county/consolidated city that was against this ballot measure, ideally. Yeah, St. Louis County, I want to believe, is 60% in support of the ballot measure, surprisingly. They should have changed the color then. 64%. Yep. 100% of the votes in. But yes, your country's Adair, 70%, Clay, 68%, Plate, 66%. Interesting results. But clearly, going to, this is Missouri Amendment 7. Okay, so the last ballot measure is raise the minimum wage. And of course, we deny police funding, or whatever that would mean. A landslide voting yes in support of raising the minimum wage in Missouri. Interesting. This proposition would increase the state's minimum wage to $13.75 per hour starting in 2025, and would raise it again to $15 per hour starting in 2026. Of course, raising the minimum wage saw great support to, of course, the big cities in Missouri. You'll see the county that supported it the most is going to be, it's actually St. Louis. It looks like it was Jackson County, but St. Louis was at 86% in support of the ballot measure. No surprise here, along with the liberal county of Jackson County, they were in support of raising that minimum wage. Like I said again, they have to know this is going to raise the taxes. I like how they whine and cry about tariffs, but they're so up and going about it when it comes to the minimum wage. It's not like blue states have rejected it because they feel the effects of social programs in deep blue run states. Massachusetts, California are great examples of states that said no to minimum wage. But these red states are actually saying yes because they have not felt the consequences of what minimum wage actually brings to the said American people in the states. But yes, 57.6% in support. The 42.4% are saying no because of the tax issue, because of the raising the taxes when it comes to that. You'll see also Pemiscot, very red county, but I keep saying that. But yeah, I want to remind you, 73%. It supported the ballot measure by 63%. You could say, make a big argument. Oh, it's low turnout over there. Oh, it's just liberal Democrat, as you know, ancestral Democrats over there. You could make that argument. Absolutely. But they still, of course, supported the said ballot measure 63%, despite voting for Trump by 70%. I thought that to be very interesting. A lot of conservative counties also support minimum wage. It's not all about taxes when it comes to that, but vast majority of red counties, they are saying, yeah, it's actually more about the taxes. It's not worth it. But what do you guys think in regards to our said elections in Missouri, our ballot measures? Let me know down below. And as always, I will see you all in the next political episode.